Hey guys, welcome back to CritterED TV. As always, I'm Amelia and this is my older sister Sandra.
Hello everyone, thanks for showing your support.
Today we're going to be learning about the Sidewinder Rattlesnake, another one of the world's most misunderstood critters.
You'll be amazed to learn that sidewinders have helped engineers and scientists build a better future for some disaster victims.
You'll also be amazed that we aren't afraid of sidewinders, and you shouldn't be either.
Welcome back to CritterED TV. I'm your host, Jed Dodds, and I'm here with Clint Elliott as always. And Clint, we have a special guest with us today. He's a friend of yours, Tyler. Thank you for coming out. How long have you known Tyler?
I've known Tyler for, what, 7 years now?
About that.
Yeah. He was a huge part of the animal scene here in Tucson, and he now lives in Phoenix.
Now, Tyler, you have brought a special guest out for us to learn about today. Who did you bring?
Yeah, so I brought a good friend of mine. His name's Karma. He's a sidewinder, which is a type of rattlesnake.
Now, Sidewinder Rattlesnake, how amazing is that? Now, on this channel, we have seen the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake, but never had an opportunity to get up close with a Sidewinder, so it's very exciting. Now, before we do that, we need to go over a couple of legal things about housing a Sidewinder Rattlesnake. And Clint, you have to have a special license to be able to do that.
You do. You actually have to have a special license from the state of Arizona to even go out and interact with a rattlesnake or to even really view one in the wild. So Tyler has that license, I have that license. It's extremely important.
Now, Tyler, you have had Karma for several years, and this is not a snake that can be released into the wild.
Oh, absolutely not, no. Because he's been under human care for quite a while now, his chances of survival aren't well.
Would be very low.
And not only has he been under human care, but it's actually illegal to re-release a snake into the wild. And we're going to go over all that information along with getting up close and learning about this very misunderstood animal. I can't wait. I know Clint is about to really geek out over the Sidewinder, so let's go take a look at Karma. We've moved to a larger area to be able to bring Karma out for a safety factor because, of course, that's of the utmost importance. As a rattlesnake, that does mean that it's venomous and poses a potential danger. So a lot of safety has to go into moving, transporting, and working with a Sidewinder rattlesnake. Now, Tyler, you have Karma in a bin. How are we going to bring Karma out?
Sure, so what I have here is just a 5-gallon bucket with a screw top lid, of course, air holes in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down and unscrew the lid, making sure that my hand is actually on top of the lid at all times to make sure that there's a shield between him and me. And then I'm going to use this piece of string that I have attached here to actually lift off the lid to make sure, again, that my hands don't get anywhere near that striking range.
Well, Clint and I are going to step back, give you a little room to get Karma out, and then we're going to come back in and learn more about him.
Sure.
Guys, this is a gorgeous snake. Just beautiful.
So one of the first things you may notice about Karma is the size of him. Tyler, is he full grown?
Yeah, actually he is. He's a full-grown adult male.
Usually Sidewinder rattlesnakes end up around 24 inches in length when they're mature, but the females can be a little bit bigger, so it might explain why Karma is a little bit on the smaller side because he's a male.
And Karma is estimated around 18 years old. Typically, Sidewinders can live around 20, and in human care, they can even reach ages of 25 years.
That's right, yeah.
The Sidewinder gets its name because of its locomotion, the way it traverses its landscape in a winding S or J pattern.
Yeah, so they actually use that pattern to make their way up those very slippery and loose sand dunes that they live in. So the one way that you can look at it is kind of like looking at a regular car's tire versus a tractor tire. The regular car is going to have a big issue trying to get up that hill, while the tractor will be able to make its way right on up.
Yep. And another reason is that sidewinding motion allows for only one part of the snake's belly to be on the sand at a time. Anybody who's been to the desert in the summer knows that that sand stays really hot even after dark. And a snake's belly can burn. So by only having one part of the body on the sand at a time, it avoids that.
What an amazing way to be able to maintain thermoregulation and to get up a tough terrain.
Did you know scientific studies of sidewinders has led engineers to build better rescue robots?
These robots mimic the S&J movements of sidewinders to reach places other robots can't.
This is called biomimicry, when we use strategies found in nature to solve human design issues.
In the future, multiple lives of people can be saved from explosions and earthquake rubble, all thanks to the Sidewinder Rattlesnake.
So one of the other things you may notice about Karma is the modified scales that are right above his eyes. And Tyler, these things have an actual name.
Yeah, those are his supraocular scales, and these scales have actually earned them the name the horned rattlesnake.
The horned rattlesnake. What a cool nickname that is. And these adaptations definitely serve a purpose. Scientists have some theories.
Yeah, one theory is that because these animals are common in the western dunes of Arizona, they bury themselves in the sand, not only to protect themselves from the sun, but also to lie in ambush for prey and to hide from predators, with only their eyes exposed above the sand. The thought is that those scales keep the sand from falling down and covering the eyes of the rattlesnake.
What a cool way to be able to protect sand from getting in your eyes. And Tyler, I know there's another theory too.
Yeah, sure. There's another theory that when they're laying in that ambush, to protect their eyes from the sun actually going directly in, they lay sort of against the sun so that those supraocular scales can provide shade.
Did you know that the Sidewinder is the fastest snake on Earth?
Their unique form of locomotion allows them to glide across sand dunes at an astonishing 18 miles an hour.
That's twice as fast as the average human runner and a lot more than the black mamba, the second fastest snake with a top speed of 12 miles per hour.
The Sidewinder has an interesting way of bringing prey to them.
This is so unique in the world of rattlesnakes. Guys, most rattlesnakes use their rattle as a form of communication, but the Sidewinder will actually use it as a lure. They'll bury themselves in the sand with their tail exposed, and they will wiggle that tail in order to draw in one of their favorite prey animals, lizards, to them.
And once that prey is in sight, they use a lightning-fast strike to envenomate a hemotoxic venom.
And so what that hemotoxic venom does is that it attacks the circulatory system of this prey, and it shuts it down very quickly, which subdues the prey so that the Sidewinder has an easy meal.
Yeah, and the fact that the venom works so quickly on the prey has led to the urban legend that they're equally as toxic to humans, when in fact, that couldn't be further from the truth. There has never been a single death in a human from a Sidewinder bite.
And even though they pose little threat to humans, that doesn't mean that they're without risk if you are bit. That injection site could cause nerve damage and necrosis, leaving you with a high medical bill. A huge thank you to Tyler and Karma for coming out and teaching us why Sidewinder rattlesnakes are so amazing.
And it's really important that we reinforce that Sidewinders, any rattlesnake really, are venomous animals that not just anybody should bring into their home. Tyler has a tremendous amount of knowledge, education, and experience that make him uniquely qualified to be Karma's caregiver.
Yeah, and I wanted to give a big thank you to you guys over here at CritterED TV for having me and Karma. I know that I had a blast, and I'm assuming he did as well. I'm so glad that we could get out here and help educate people about a very misunderstood animal.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time here on CritterED TV, where fear becomes wonder and wonder becomes passion. Bye,
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.